visiting Flagstaff and Northeast Arizona is always for me, one of my favorite places to go. Love getting into the mountains and love being in the rural areas and getting up into some of the Navajo and Hopi Nation areas as well. And there we see some of the same concerns as everyone else. Clearly the concerns, again, about sustaining our quality of life, protecting our resources, and how we shape the growth. Coal clearly is a major issue in Northeast Arizona. Clearly the coal economy is central to both the Navajo and Hopi nations. I currently sit on the Central Arizona Project Board, and the coal plant, the Navajo Generating Station in Page, Arizona, was built to power the Central Arizona Project. It's the largest electricity user in the state, and we use a quarter of the power from that coal plant to basically move the water from Lake Havasu through the 300 some miles of canal and up a couple thousand feet in elevation to eventually into Tucson. One of the things that I'm very supportive of is the compromise that has been proposed for the Navajo Generating Station. So briefly, Navajo Generating Station is 3 coal units and the Navajo Generating Station has three large coal plants, each 750 megawatts, and is currently trying to determine how best to address the latest Environmental Protection Agency regulations dealing with regional haze. We are in a situation where some of the plant owners said if they had to bear the full cost of these improvements that they might shut down the plant. Sitting on the Central Arizona Project Board, clearly one of our objectives was to make sure that the Navajo Generating Station stayed in production. And the compromise deal that's been worked out, it brought together the owners of the plant, including the Central Arizona Project, the Navajo Nation, 3 environmental groups joined the conversation as well, and they came up with a compromise. The compromise they came up with is that we would, over the next few years, shut down one of the 3 units. And then we would eventually put in place, but we could delay, but put in place, further down the road, some of the more expensive pollution control equipment. And then by 2044, the plant would be retired. In totality, when you put this together over the course of from now to 2044, this compromise deal would produce less of the regional haze pollution than the requirements that the EPA wanted to be implemented more quickly. What I want to point out about this is most of the parties involved wanted something different. The environmental community wanted the plant shut down quicker. The owners wanted to defray the need for the improvements entirely. You had a very diverse group of people, but what we did is we came together and we found a common ground that we could all support, that will keep the plant in operation, will keep the economy working for the Navajo and Hopi nations, and will, over time, also begin to invest money in renewable resources being developed in Northeast Arizona on the tribal nations that could create a transition in the future more smoothly if we need that. To me, it represents the way politics is supposed to work. People who disagree and have diverse interests can still come together, argue about it, understand each other's perspectives, and find a common ground. That's the kind of politics we need in Arizona. That's the kind of politics I will bring to the commission so we can have these conversations and invest in our future.